I can curse today because my dad's not on. We fucking going to the playoffs. That's right. Boston.
Oh yeah.
We want Boston. We want
I,
Boston.
I felt like you guys started that chant, and they at the arena.
I 100% chimed in the second. It was like, so we were all the way up in 219. It
Hmm.
was like to our left, 230, 240, whatever that section was. It was them that started it. Way high up. Crazy. Group of Sixer
What
fans.
did your dad partake?
No,
He
no,
didn't.
no, he didn't. But he did. He took part in a lot of cheering and he got into the game. Like
Okay,
usually
he
he's
got into the game.
he's not gonna be celebrating and clapping. Watching the game at
He's
home, he's stern. But at the game, he was. Maxi, when Maxi hit that deep three from like the
Mhm.
logo, that he was clapping,
How about
stood
with
up a couple
the
of times. He had the towel going. We had the rally,
how
the
about the
playoff
Drummond
towels.
three?
He was clapping. He did clap after the Drummond
Okay.
three, believe it or not.
Is
He's
that the
usually
new is that the new dagger in Philadelphia?
for the Sixers, yes. That is our equivalent to
Dad,
Devontae
please
So
stop.
Smith's touchdown, unfortunately. So
so
that
Please stop.
is that
Please
is
so
stop.
that is the amount of that just speaks to the amount of success the Sixers have had in
I
recent
know.
years.
So the Jalen to Schmitty is still safe. Is that what you're telling me?
Is still what? Safe?
It's still safe that the Jalen to Schmitty
Oh, that
dagger
that's
is
still
that's
that
still
still
okay. Still
reigns
number one.
reigns above for now. For now. For now. But who knows what happens in this first round playoff series against Boston with the way these young backcourt looks. I know we're going to talk a lot about that game on this podcast. But yeah, the game was great. I went there with my dad. We got there nice and early, got to see the warm ups, saw Joel Embiid on the bench. Allen Iverson was there. He got honored. A lot of Philadelphia Flyers were there too with their playoff game tomorrow. They actually
Oh,
rang the
awesome.
bell. Two players, I could
Oh,
not tell you their names. I
okay.
know,
Yeah, I did see that.
yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Let me tell me about the crowd though, because it seemed electric on TV. Like it seemed like the crowd was just like it felt like a playoff game. I guess it
So
was, but it felt.
when when we got there, there was like 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes until tip off, and there was like nobody there. Like it was
Mhm.
completely, and I always get nervous when I go early and like there's not a lot of people, especially for a playoff game. Like I've been to Yankee playoff games. This is my first Sixers postseason game as an adult. But I always get nervous when I see there's not a lot of people like in the stands. So I was like, Dad, like this crowd is weak. Like what's going on? He's like, it's early, it's early. But
Mhm.
by the time like the intros, like they shut the lights off, it was a packed house. Like everybody
Oh,
had their
that's right.
flashlights on. And yeah, throughout the game, like you heard VJ talking about it in the press conference and in the post game that it was like it's what he lived for, like that type of atmosphere. And it was loud. It was definitely loud. We were making a lot of noise. But there were times like how the game was like a seesaw. Or Orlando kind of got back into it. When Orlando was making their runs, it tended to get like quiet. It was like we were expecting the
Yeah.
worst to happen, as we've seen a lot this year with the Sixers. But it was a good game to watch as a fan there because they had a lot of highlight plays. Like VJ had those transition buckets, and Maxi had a Maxi game, so it was easy for the fans to stay in it. And yeah, we definitely showed up, I would say.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was great. Um, I was a little bit more pumped than usual for some reason. Um, I went into the game thinking like if they lose, it's fine. Maybe they can beat Charlotte. But they showed me a lot in the game. I have some thoughts on it. After we when we get to that segment. But the crowd was great. I thought the crowd was just amazing. I'm glad the national audience gets to like see and remember what Philadelphia feels like when the basketball team is doing well. You guys don't remember like the Iverson days, those crowds, especially when they were before they got Iverson, they were bad for a long time, and he brought them back to the
Hmm.
playoffs, and the crowds were just amazing. So it felt that way a little bit the other night.
My dad was telling me about the time when the Sixers were in the playoffs in '03 against the Pacers. You remember that series against Reggie Miller?
Yeah, oh 03.
Yeah. Was it '03 that
Uh,
they lost? No, sorry. I'm talking about the '01 series. They might have
okay,
played in
yeah.
'03, but they played in '01 in the first round.
Okay,
And
yep, I
prior
remember
to
that.
that, like Indiana had their number or
Yep.
whatever.
Indiana
Like
won the
they could
first
not
game.
beat.
They won the first game in
Right.
'01. Yep.
But
Yeah.
we went to that game, to game one that they lost. I was like
Oh,
3 years
okay.
old. And he remembers that like I was so bothered by the noise and by like the crowd noise, like
Did you have
as a
those
baby.
like those ear muffs, those ear
That's what I asked
thing?
him. He said no. Yeah. I asked the same thing, but he was like, no, you didn't have those.
He's like, he's got to suck it up. Yeah, I
And I
remember
don't know
that.
what they were thinking.
I remember that
But
well. Sixers had the best record in the conference. We owed Indiana a butt whipping. They come to Philly and beat us in game one.
mhm.
And then I was like, oh my God, here we go. After this great season, they're going to take us down again because they beat. I think they beat us the last 2 years. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. We're talking about that the '01 Sixers Pacers series, and I was telling them that Indiana won game
Wait,
one.
we're recording right now?
Yeah, we're recording. We're recording right now. And Indiana won game one,
Hello,
and I
everyone.
was just thinking the series is after a great season they're gonna knock us out again, but Iverson took over after that, so it's pretty good. I like the T-shirt,
Kobe, we
Ken.
just talked about that too, didn't we?
Yeah, that's why we
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
That's why
That
we were talking
mhm.
about it.
Thanks. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
y-
I don't know about what were you going to say?
I was gonna like I wanted choice like impressions of the game, like not the game, but the experience at the stadium.
So initially, when we first got there, obviously you had the Phillies game going on. There's a lot of traffic. So, with 4 minutes right before the game started, I'm looking at the crowd, and it was like maybe 50% filled to capacity.
Hmm.
Like it was like nobody in seats. And Ray hit me. He was like, "The crowd, I bet the crowd is great." And I was like, "No, not really. It's really not." But by the time the game started, the crowd filled in, and it was a great atmosphere. It was a
Yeah,
great atmosphere,
it
I have to
sounded
admit.
electric.
Um,
It sounded super electric from on TV, and it reminded me of the crowds like you, Troy. You remember the lull that Sixers had before they got Iverson when they weren't making the playoffs. They were really bad, and then when Iverson finally brought them back to the playoffs, and the city just was just on fire, and the crowds were just
went
amazing.
crazy. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't to that point. Yeah, it wasn't to that point, Chuck. It was because I remember that. And I was telling Kobe this too. His first in 1999 was it 99? The first
I
year
thought
they,
it
they
was
went back to the playoffs, which was 99, right? They played the
oh, I thought
Magic.
that's the game.
They played the Magic, yeah, and
They
Penny.
played the Magic, and then
Yeah,
they
they played.
played Indiana, and then they played Indiana, and then we went to the first home game against Indiana. And that crowd, that was one of the loudest crowds I'd ever
Mm,
experienced. Um, and Kobe was like, Kobe was 3, and he's just looking around like, why is it so freaking loud in this place? Like he looked like deathly afraid, like someone was
yeah.
trying to kill him.
So '99, they lost that
Um,
series.
but
They
yeah, it
lost that
wasn't to
series.
that point, but it was loud. They lost that series. They
Yeah, they
lost that
lost that
series.
series. Yeah, they had a problem with Indiana. Anyway, getting back
I,
to 2026.
I think the coolest thing for me was seeing the court because I grew up with that court and that logo my whole childhood, watching the Iverson teams, seeing that again. Like I probably the last time I walked through an arena tunnel and saw that court, I was probably like 11, 12 years old. So that was super surreal. And that was probably the cool. That was definitely what I was looking forward to the most. And then the game was awesome. Like that was just, that made it that much better.
Good, awesome.
Speaking
Yeah, we
of
got the
the
city
game,
fired up.
I want to kick it to Noah. So, I mean, we all watched the game. Noah, what are your takeaways from the Sixers play and win over the Orlando Magic? Biggest takeaway from the game?
I could probably say that's the. I could probably say that's the hardest I've ever seen the Sixers like work in my entire life. Like I've never seen them hustle to get every loose, but not every loose ball. There's still a couple times it frustrated me, but they got to most of the loose balls. It feels like every time we play anyone, not even just in the playoffs, in the regular season as well, like we're letting offensive rebounds get back to the other team. Um, Not making the hustle plays. Guys are just outworking us. It seemed like yesterday, or not yesterday, when was that? 2 days ago? It seemed like during the game, like the team, like they seemed hungry, and it was nice to see. Um, I've kind of been very pessimistic about the Sixers just because it felt like Embiid was finally about to be healthy for the playoffs, and then he gets appendicitis, and like the Sixers have never done anything in my entire existence, and seems like they never will. And so I'm pretty upset about that. But you got Boston. Bring me Boston, definitely.
Let's go. Let's go. No one
Like
wants
I
Boston.
have no confidence in us beating Boston, but I'm gonna still talk crazy to every and I'm still gonna talk crazy to every Boston fan that I know. I'm gonna act like we're gonna win, but really, they've never beaten Boston ever. I don't think. I mean, not since I was alive. They have in the back in the day. I suppose.
It's been
Have they?
40 years.
The
Been 40
80s.
years. Over
Yeah.
40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noah, what do you think? Because I think the series is interesting. Like the team split in the regular season, but Jason Tatum didn't play in any of those games. Paul George didn't play in any of those games. The Sixers are 100% minus Joel Embiid being out. The Celtics are 100%, but Tatum's not Tatum that we're accustomed to. So is there any chance the Sixers can make this interesting with the way they kind of have played Boston pretty well this year, albeit we haven't seen everybody on the court for them and for us? Is there a way for VJ, I don't know, Maxey to light a fire under the rest of the group that they just carry and find a hot streak?
I would like to say that. I would love to say that actually. I'm not sure. Does anyone know Embiid's like timetable of return? Like I've seen people say like maybe for Game 3 he'll be back, but like I don't know.
I do find it interesting that they haven't ruled him out to say, hey, he's not playing in this series. I find it interesting that they haven't done that, but I haven't seen anything.
I actually read a weird thing that said once inside source said he would have been able to play in the Magic game, but decided not to.
That was Skip Bayless. I don't think that was true.
Okay.
That was a Skip Bayless. He had reported that Embiid was capable of playing, but he decided not to play.
Yeah, didn't sound true.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't think that was true. But what I was saying was, if Embiid's back by Game 3,
Hey, can you guys hear Noah? Okay, I can't hear.
Oh yeah, we can hear Noah.
What should I do about that?
Might be on his end.
yeah, it might be on his end. You're good, Noah.
If Embiid's back by Game 3, like I've been seeing people say he might possibly be, if somehow the Sixers steal a game in Boston, like before that, like maybe there's a chance. But I don't know. I don't want to like put my eggs in this basket anymore. My mental health.
Yeah.
But when the game starts, like I'm like be back in my super fan mode, like talking junk to my Celtics fan friends, even though I have no confidence. So I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. Sixers in 5.
All right. It's weird. They've had spurts where they've looked you know, obviously better in years past without Embiid. I think we can all agree this is the best roster we've had around Embiid.
I think
And
the 2019 team with Jimmy Butler and a functional Tobias Harris was pretty good, and
I
a
liked.
functional Ben Simmons.
you think that team without Embiid was better than this team?
Jimmy Butler, a functional Ben Simmons, functional Toby,
Functional.
Yeah.
I don't.
a
Red,
um,
I really,
Redick.
TJ McConnell. Yes,
I don't know about that one.
I really like
I'm gonna
that
have to do
team.
some research on that.
The team with like 2023 or 2024. I don't know why. Like the team when we had D'Anthony Melton and when like Kelly Oubre and Tobias Harris, they all got off to a great start when Embiid like before he like hurt his knee in the Warriors game like that year. Because like the Sixers had like 3 lineups and like the top 5 of like best net rating, like starting fives, or like not starting fives, but 5-man lineups.
yeah, I do remember that squad. Yeah.
I thought they fit very well together. But
Yeah, Maxey and Melton looked like the backcourt of the future for a little bit that season. Chuck, what was your biggest takeaway from the game, and how confident are you going into the series against the Celtics?
My biggest takeaway was it's 2 things actually, and just bear with me with this. And I do want you guys' thoughts on this as well. And you may have a better view of it and better feel of it because you guys were at the game. I don't remember. You guys remember when Troy, after the last Sixers Celtics game, he was killing the Sixers. He was like, "Hey, we don't have Embiid, but they don't have Tatum. We got Tyrese Maxey and VJ, and they
They
have
didn't have
Brown.
anybody.
They have Brown and White, and then
Derek White.
yeah, Derek White, and then Kata went off.
Shaq
He's
game.
like, why can't our players do that? Even though like Derek Brown's, he could win MVP, and then Derek White he's got an Olympic gold medal.
Jaylen Brown.
No, Derek White has an Olympic gold medal.
Yeah, I know you said Derek Brown before. I was just
I'm sorry, that's Jaylen Brown has he could win MVP this year. Derek White could, he has a Olympic gold medal, he has a world championship, probably the best defensive guard in the league. I think it's crazy to like compare like VJ and Maxey to those 2. And the Sixers were in that game. You guys remember they were within 4 in the fourth quarter. I didn't really think they were going to win that game, but I thought it was interesting.
why is it crazy to compare them?
Because I don't think a rookie and an undersized, granted superstar, can compare to Jaylen Brown, who could win MVP, and then Derek White, whose resume, if you look at his resume, Maxey doesn't touch his resume. I think that's a little bananas. But my point was, the Sixers back then, during the regular season, they didn't have the luxury of having their superstar. I guess if they would have been like, hey, Embiid is not coming back until February 1st. And their role players and Nurse could do a rotation and they could develop their young players knowing that Embiid's going to come back at this date instead of, hey, he's going to come back for a couple games and sit out for 3 games. Or he's going to show up at the stadium after they ruled him out and says he wants to play. Where, the players are like, well, I might start or I might get a DNP. They don't know what was going on. I think Boston had the luxury of saying, okay, Tatum's not coming back, so we could develop these players. And because we don't have to worry about him like sporadically going into the lineup. The reason I'm saying all this is I think the Sixers played really well because they knew Embiid wasn't going to play. Like they were like, hey, he's definitely not playing. We could set a lineup, we could set a rotation. Everyone knows their roles. Instead of him like, oh, he may or may not play. And I thought that's what I was thinking as I was watching the game. That him not playing, and everyone knows he's not playing, may have helped the team. And I think that helped Boston. Boston knowing Tatum was not going to play, or he's going to come back to this particular date, may have helped them develop their players a lot, where the Sixers didn't have that luxury. And I don't know, Guy, how you feel about that. The other thing that I noticed, and I know you guys, love Jared McCain. Noah's got his fingers and his toes painted, and
Nice.
in honor of McCain leaving. I'm watching that game now. Did you guys notice that Nurse only played 8 players?
Of
But
course.
I'm like, who once again? Who McCain? Who would he have guarded? Is he guarding like Anthony Black? He's not guarding Bane. Like who? Now, don't get me wrong. He can stand in a corner and he can shoot threes. Would it have been helpful? I'm not saying he wouldn't have been helpful, but I think they would have. Did you guys notice that they were hunting Maxey and they were getting Paolo on Maxey a lot and trying to back him down? They would have killed McCain with that. And Maxey's a much better defender. But I'm watching the games like they're only playing 8 players. If they had McCain, maybe it'd be helpful. But I'm like, who would he have guarded on the Magic? So
What I noticed
again,
about okay.
No, I'm not. I'll let you go, Cole. But I just don't. I'm not like saying that was a good trade, but at some point, I'm like who, like, I'm interested. I'm going to watch how they play him in the playoffs because he's not a great defender. He's a little undersized. Like, who's he going to He's going to guard. I don't even know who they're playing, but who's he going to guard? He would have had a hard time staying on the floor in that last game. Anyway, that was my observations. So go ahead. I'm sorry, guys.
I disagree. I don't think that Orlando actually did a really good job of taking advantage of potential mismatches they would have had. And a lot of times Maxey did get switched onto Boncaro and he still couldn't do anything. He had one of the worst games of his career.
It wasn't the end result. It was the fact that they were trying to do that. You're right. I think Maxey's a much better defender than he gets credit for. But the fact that they were hunting Maxey and trying to get him on a bigger player, that was like an interesting process for me. And because I think he's going to go through that as the playoffs goes on.
100%.
I was thinking if McCain was there, they would have done the same thing with him. They would try to get him to switch into a mismatch.
I think they played one of the more connected games defensively I've seen all year. And quite honestly, if we had Jerry McCain and he got switched on to Boncaro, I would trust him to hold his own until he got help from the help side defender. I would have trusted them to make it work against the Magic. Now against the Celtics, yeah, you're gonna get exposed. Like Maxey's gonna get switched on to Tatum and Brown, and they're gonna make the right passes for the open threes. He's a much better
defender than he gets credit for. You're right. They're gonna hunt him because I don't think they want any part of VJ necessarily. But Maxey's a really good defender, so that doesn't bother me. I was trying to think if they had now granted, if Embiid would have played, maybe they would have played 9 players. If McCain was there, maybe he would have played. But again, I think they would have hunted him a little bit. Kobe, what's your thought on like the whole what I was saying about like, and again, I was fumbling around with it, but having if you didn't have Embiid sporadically get into the lineup throughout the season, you think that the Nick Nurse will have a better rotation? Would the players know their roles? Would they be a little bit more cohesive? Like, do you think that's the case, or it is what it is?
I think there would have been a greater opportunity for Nick Nurse to develop identity with the team and to develop roles within those secondary players. I don't know if he would have done it, based on what I've seen from him as the Sixers coach, but there would have been a greater opportunity like Joe Mazzulla had. I think you're right. I think Mazzulla did that with the Celtics, and you saw them get better as the year went on because of the fact that they didn't have a choice. They had to go with the guys that they had, and they had to grow within that structure. Whereas, yeah, like Embiid started the season, we didn't expect him to play as many games out the gate as he did, but then it was off and on, off and on. So you never really got that cohesion that you would have liked with your team. So I do agree with that. I just don't know how much growth the Sixers would have actually made based on the fact that I haven't seen Nick Nurse create a structure or identity around this team since he's been here for 3 years. Go ahead, Noah.
Sure.
You were talking about like this. You kind of were talking about a lot of stuff for it, and I wanted to say a lot about like everything that. But the Sixers, you were talking about Jerry McCain and stuff, and how we'd be able to like put him out there. The Celtics find a way to put Payton Pritchard out there, and like still like not, and still be able to play solid defense, good defense. We find a way to put Quentin Grimes out there, and play.
He's a really good. He's a good defender.
No, he's not. Stop saying that. Please stop.
At minimum, he's big.
Okay, but stop saying he's a really good defender. Like he's not. He's constantly like lost in like every play. Like he's always like chasing around someone because he's like a step behind him, and like he could. I like his like contest like at the top of the shot or whatever. Like he like contests the shot.
I disagree.
But he's always following.
I disagree. I think
it never looks like it always looks like he's like a step behind like the guy he's guarding. Like he's like always chasing him around. Like you know what I mean? Like I can't say he's a good defender.
I don't know if you remember, Chuck, in the Magic game there was a play where there was a ball screen involving Paul George and Quentin Grimes, and Quentin Grimes was supposed to switch, and he didn't switch, and Paul George pretty much stopped playing defense and started like, you saw his body language is totally good. I think that kind of is what Noah was speaking to. He is a physical player, like you said, and he has a lot of attributes that help him on the defensive end that kind of like save him, but he's not the most heady player in general, which affects his defense.
I won't disagree with that. He's not the smartest player. I'm hearing an echo. Zach, make sure you're not making us echo. I think at minimum, like when you have a backcourt of like Anthony Black and Desmond Bane, and then what was that? I think it's hard to be a small person on the court. So that's all I'm saying. And again, he might thrive in the playoffs. We'll see what happens, but I think as I was watching the game, I'm thinking, okay, they're only playing 8 players. Maybe McCain would be helpful. And then I'm watching the game. It's like, well, who is he going to guard? That's all I'm saying. I don't think he's a great defender. He's not very big. So that was my concern.
I always thought like McCain was like a solid defender for his side. Like at least I feel like defense is really like 80% like effort like most of the time, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like it always felt like he was always like trying his hardest to like play defense, and I would rather have that and a consistent shooter, good passer, great off ball, because the Sixers do nothing off ball. They literally just run like dribble handoffs around and like try and get like a mismatch, and then like they were literally having Maxey run ISO the whole game. And like I love Maxey, but like that's not his like best attribute. That's why he wasn't shooting well until the end of the game. They kept just running around each other, like passing off, like running around, like dribble handoff, and then like, oh, like I don't have anywhere to go. Pass it back to the guy who just sent me the screen, and then they just like keep doing that until they get like a step on the defender, or, like they take a tough shot. Like again, the Sixers were bottom of the league in quality shot percentage. And
I'm sorry, I talked about McCain. Finish. You can finish.
Yeah, because like and also like I'm sorry.
You can finish.
Like, why do we always talk about Jerry McCain? Like, stop reminding us that like your boyfriend Daryl Morey.
I don't know how that got into this.
Finish painting your nails.
We're celebrating a play-in victory.
You always talk about. You always try and like give Morey credit somehow for like trading McCain like at every podcast. Like I'm tired.
I'm not giving him credit. I just don't know what I'm thinking. They only played 8 players. What other players would they have played? I wish they would have played Walker a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. I'm thinking, McCain was there, but I just don't know who he would guard. That's all
and
I'm saying.
I remember what I wanted to say earlier too. When you were talking about like the Celtics like getting used to like playing without Tatum, like the Sixers have. How are they not used to playing without Embiid by now? He's missed half the game in his career now. Like that's not. I'm not using that excuse anymore. They play without him all the time. They don't even
to not play with him where it's like sporadic. Is this a theory that I have? I'm just throwing it out there.
But even when they do play with him, they still have no offensive identity. It's just like they just depend on him to like his gravity to get guys open.
Okay, I thought they played well the other night because they knew he wasn't going to play. Troy, what's your take on that? Does that hold water at all? Do you think that's a thing?
What do I think? What's a thing?
The whole having
about Embiid?
Yeah, him being a little bit like his sporadically showing up at games may affect like the way Nick Nurse coached, the way the players prepare for themselves. Like, would Bona be a little bit better knowing that, hey, I might start tonight, or I might take a DNP? I don't know. Or same thing with Drummond.
I think Bona's going to struggle.
Our whole
right
offense has to change because Embiid's there, or are we going to want something else? Like, what's your thoughts?
I think he's been out long enough for. I think he's been out long enough for other players to not really rely on him. For Nick Nurse not to rely on him, they should have a totally different philosophy when he's not on the floor. I don't. They shouldn't use Embiid as an excuse, specifically Nick Nurse. And to Noah's point, even when he does play, their offense is still mind-boggling to me. How they don't like think about the game against Orlando.
I don't think I'll
Ben
let you finish.
Carroll gets 2 quick fouls.
I don't think you guys getting my point. But go ahead. It's
Maybe
not that he doesn't.
What is your point?
My point is that how do you, even when he's there or not there, it doesn't matter. It's hard to like have a rotation, know your role, have a game plan. If you're, I hate to say it, I think it would be, but having your best player in and out of the lineup sporadically. I think they played well against the Magic. Maybe you can give the Magic some of the credit for that. It's because they knew he wasn't going to.
Yeah, like they played well against Magic. I think it was just the Magic. I think if they played the Hornets, they probably lose that game. I think it was just the Magic. They got lucky that they were playing the Magic, and Magic they're dysfunctional right now between with their players and coaches. So they got lucky. But to your original question, I don't think the Sixers should use Embiid as a crutch, like for Bona's sake. Like Bona should come in thinking, I'm going to play 20 minutes every game. That should be his approach. Whether he starts or whether he comes off the bench, I'm going to play 20 minutes every game, and this is how I'm going to play. And I don't think that directive has been given to him from the coaching staff. And that goes to every other player also. Maxey doesn't need that. Maxey's going to do his thing. Paul George, for the most part, and BJ, they're going to do their thing. It is the role players that I worry most about.
So I agree with the mindset that he should have. I think as a young player, maybe he's not there yet, but you're right. He should have that. Call it lucky that they won the game.
I didn't say they were lucky. I just think they were lucky they were playing Orlando.
They were.
They should have won that game.
So if they would have played the ninth seed Charlotte Hornets, who they beat earlier this year, you're saying they would have lost the game?
There's a very good chance they could have lost that game. That's the same Charlotte Hornets team that beat them by like 40.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they could have loved that.
Orlando did a lot of
They-
things
they
to
could have
shoot
lost that
themselves
game.
in the foot.
Yeah.
Like, Orlando did a lot of things to shoot themselves.
Like watching
in
that
the foot.
game, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I said this to Kobe. I said this to Kobe when we were at the game. I said, I don't know which team is more idiotic, the Sixers or the Orlando Magic,
Mm.
with the way they were playing.
I think
Like they're just like I was about to say, Boncaro, he gets 2 fouls, quick fouls, and the second foul was on Maxey off a switch. Why not just go back to that? Get him out of the game. Even though he had a bad game, just get him out of the game. They never go back to that. Paul George, he would get a switch, and if he got a smaller man on him, he would go straight to the post. And in the second half, Orlando had to make that adjustment of, do we double him because he's got Bane on him, or do we let Bane play him straight up? And Paul George is he's a great player, right? Smart passer, smart player. He could have picked him apart, but they rarely did that. That's a play. If it works one time, you keep going back to it. You keep going back to the well until it doesn't work again. That's my thought. That's my thought process. But that's me. That's me.
you guys who you and the
So,
national media,
anything?
you and the national media who love the
me?
Charlotte Hornets, yeah, that love the Hornets. I can't. The Hornets, the Spurs, the Pistons, these teams. Here's what I can guarantee. We're going to do this podcast like 2 years from now, and you guys are going to come over here and you're like, give me a tanking team. The Washington Wizards. You guys going to talk about, oh, look at their culture and their coaching after they tanked for 5 years, and they're going to accumulate all of this talent, and then they're going to start winning, and we're going to talk about how they got their culture and their coaching has gotten better, and it's never the case. It's always their players have been maturing.
Can't two things be true? Can't the
Yeah,
culture and
but
coaching get better?
we're
and
killing. The problem is we're
players get
killing
better?
Nick Nurse, and I can't think of, besides Mazzulla, I can't think of another. Maybe the coach in Houston. I can't think of too many coaches that would have done a better job this year. And that goes for the Wizards. When in 2 years from now, when the Wizards are like winning because they've tanked long enough and got all this talent, and Kobe's talking about the culture that they have, I'm going to throw my computer out of the window. It's going to and the same thing's happening with the Charlotte Hornets. You guys are and the Spurs are capitalizing on this too.
Well, I
Like,
think when my
these teams
dad
have
brought
been
up
bad for so long. The Spurs have not. They've been out of playoffs for 6 years, and we're thinking how great they are. Watch,
I don't
it's
think the
gonna
Hornets
happen.
are great. I don't think the Hornets are great. I think my dad
But
brought
they
up
would
the
have came into
Hornets.
Philly. They would have came into Philly and beat us the other night.
If the Sixers played the way that they did against the Magic, they probably would have, because the Magic shot themselves in the foot.
Maybe they would.
Because the Magic shot themselves in the foot so many times, and the Hornets probably wouldn't have done the same thing with the way they've been playing. I think it was more an indictment on the
culture.
It was
Because
more
of
of an
their culture,
indictment on
Kobe?
the Magic than the Charlotte Hornets. Listen, they're the 9th seed for a reason, but
Yeah, that's what I mean.
they're playing
to
better
say they were
basketball
coming
than
to
the
Philly-
Magic right now.
They say they were coming to Philly. Thank you, Zach. We can.
No, I guess I forgot what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, no.
No, I forgot what I was gonna say. Actually, you guys
It's
are
about the
talking.
Washington Wizards, how good they're going to be in 2 years, and you guys going to be saying how.
I mean, this
great
is the
they are.
biggest
Or
talking
or the
point in
Utah
Philly sports
Jazz.
right now.
We're going to
So
talk
No,
about
no,
the
no, no,
Utah
no. I
Jazz.
remember. Stop.
there's not much else to move on to.
Stop. You were saying how like we're killing Nick Nurse and like I didn't mention Nick Nurse's name a single time. Is it too much for me to ask for my team to run some like plays? Is that too much to ask for?
That's not.
No.
Like it's like
I put that in
it's
the
like, oh, any coach would come Any coach can do this in the 6-1 plays. I'm not blaming Nurse. I'm just saying, like, we're not running any plays,
Okay.
and for some reason, we never get any. We never like
Which
win
is
on the
fair.
margins. We
It's
never
fair.
win
I
on the
even put that
margins.
in the
We
chat,
never out
Noah.
rebound.
I put that in the chat. They weren't running plays. My thing is like, we're killing Nick Nurse. Who are these coaches that are coming here and winning? How many games 6-1?
Forget it.
They won 45 games. Like,
Let's-
what coaches
You know how
like
many
bringing
teams
them
are
to like?
tanking though? There are a
let's
lot of
move
teams
on.
tanking right now.
But what team? What coach would have like brought them to like 55 wins with the inconsistency of like
It's not about the
Embiid
wins.
and
It's not about the wins. They could have
Like, you
won.
keep saying
they could
that.
have won 50 games, and still not run any offense because there were so many bad teams tanking in the league. Like it wasn't hard to get to the win total that they got to, in my opinion. It really
I
wasn't.
agree with you.
It's like
I
the
agree with
Lake.
We're
It's like the
going to
Lake.
be-
It's like how the Lakers are like. We're like the. I don't know what seed the Lakers ended in, but the Lakers are like the 2 seed in the West for like so long. But people knew like they weren't actually like, Western Conference favorites because their team, like, you could see the deficiencies in their team. Like, it's not like that's like the Eagles. The Eagles. The Eagles were winning all these games, but you saw it was ugly. Like, you know it was gonna bite them eventually.
Fine, we can move on.
And Nick
these tanking
Sirianni,
teams
like,
that Kobe's these
how many
tanking
other
teams
teams
that
can
Kobe's
coach-
talking about.
How many?
You guys
how
are
many
gonna
other
be
teams can come
praising
close
those
to the
tanking
Eagles
teams next
better
year.
than
Watch.
Nick Sirianni?
The Wizards, I would like
win
to see
more
that.
games.
We'll see. We'll
Kobe,
see.
in 2 years, you're going to be talking about that culture. Watch.
We'll
I
see.
know you are.
And two things can't be changed at once.
We'll bookmark this for sure. Moving
Yes.
on to our pop culture update.
Let's go.
Drew, what do you got for us today for pop culture?
Jermaine Cole, J. Cole, has played his first and last game in China.
Why?
I have my man, my cousin
He
Zach
he
sharing
just
the
started.
link. I know, so we're gonna read it. I love J. Cole, but I think considering his basketball career, including his time in college, and how he's complained in his music, that
Basketball career,
perhaps
that's a
the
stretch.
otherness he's
But go ahead.
experienced. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's only so good. I don't know if he's ever considered that, but as I was saying, the rap megastar J. Cole said Tuesday that his time playing with the professional basketball team in China has come to an end after one game. The work visa process took way longer than expected, so I was only able to play in one before heading back, quote unquote, Cole said in a statement. Earlier in April, the two-time Grammy winner, multi-time platinum selling artist, signed a deal with the Beijing Monkey Kings in the Chinese Basketball Association.
What?
He was scheduled to play at least 3 games for the club.
That sounds
Quote,
racist.
I want to say thank you to the
It is
Nation
racist.
Yes, no, yeah, that name is crazy. That name is crazy. All right, but I want to say thank you to all the Nation Club and to the CBA for allowing me to have that incredible experience, end quote, Cole said in a statement. It was the third time Cole, whose full name is Jermaine Cole, played in professional sports league. He played in Rwanda with the Rwanda Patriots in the Basketball Africa.
Zach, while Drew is frozen,
How tall is J. Cole?
Could you look up his stats? What is he?
I
averaging?
know exactly how many points he had in that game.
All right. Wow. Noah. I love
He
the
put
energy.
up. Okay, I need to talk about J. Cole real quick because,
Okay.
like, I like J. Cole, but like, I respect J. Cole. He's a great musician, great artist. But like, after this whole like beef thing, like, he lost me a little bit. Like, this whole Kendrick and J. Cole and Drake thing, he lost me. Like, he's been on the podcast saying how, like, oh, I never thought I was the best. I never thought I was the best rapper between them, blah, blah, blah. He dropped out the beef. And he put up a Tobias Harris game, like, closeout game, like, stat line in his.
I could.
He does,
And
he
it's
does
funny-
kind
and
of
it's
look
so
like
funny
Tobias
because
Harris, doesn't he?
He looks exactly like him, and they literally had, like, I don't remember. He might have had the exact same stats Tobias had in Game 6 against the Knicks, like, when he scored 0
He
points.
wasn't that bad. No one could be that bad.
No, no, let's.
I could. Did you see his
No
stats?
one could be that bad.
Even with
I
my
don't-
bad shoulder, I can average 2 points in China. I can average 2 points in China. I'm not kidding. Right now.
How much is J. Cole getting
I
paid?
can give you.
Was he getting
I
paid a
can-
max contract in China?
No.
I can give you 5 points
That's all I want to know.
easy in China. I can give you a 3 and 2 free throws in China.
You can't. You think so? Some of those dudes are nice. Some of those cats are nice. You think you can get 5 points?
No, dude.
I can.
I'm not saying. Listen, this is not a diss, and it's not racist. I never got schooled by that guy from China in basketball court in my life.
That's racist. But go ahead.
Is it racist?
How many?
That
You
was-
think you think in China like there's just like Chinese people like playing on the teams? I don't think that's the case.
They have a limit. You only can
They have
have
a
a certain
limit.
amount of.
They have a limit.
You can't
many?
just have like. I think it's
Why
like
not?
one
You
American.
can't. Yeah, you can't have like 9 dudes from Harlem playing
Yeah. You
Playing in
can't
China.
do it.
on one team. Can't do it.
Glad we
Why
don't.
not?
Glad we don't have mommy on this podcast right now because she'd be doing some crazy.
Wa-
Chinese
Yes.
Stop.
No.
accents.
Stop. Don't even say it. Don't even say it.
Who's
Washed up.
mommy? I don't know.
Where'd-
Stephon
where'd Drew go?
Marbury went there and got a statue erected for him.
Where did Drew go?
He was washed. I don't know. He's having a hard
I
time.
think he
with
went to go shoot some jumpers.
I wanted to make fun of him for
that.
J.
He's
Cole.
gonna. He's working on his game. He's gonna move to China.
Well, while Drew
Dominate.
works on his game, we'll move ahead in the podcast to some baseball. I will say the second.
Before we go to baseball, Can we get some predictions on the series with the Sixers and the Celtics?
Sixers
Okay, move
in
on.
6.
You guys
I
are
love that
great. You
Kobe.
guys are so funny. You're so adorable. My son is
Sixers
adorable.
in 6. They're gonna get one in Boston.
If they get one in Boston, they're gonna have to get this first one. Boston hasn't played in what, 9 days?
That's a good point.
It's been a while. Sixers, if they get one, it's gonna have to be this one, the first game, I think.
Troy, I want to know what you think, but also, what are you hearing about Embiid? You weren't on when we were kind of talking about that, like Embiid coming back.
I would be shocked if he came back.
Okay.
Again,
Serious.
like I had an appendicitis, I had to get my appendix taken out.
Oh yes, that's what I meant to put on the
And-
thing.
Yeah,
Tell us your
we-
appendicitis story. I remember that
Oh,
you
this
were in
is
so much
funny.
pain.
This
Yes.
is hilarious.
I'm hanging out with a bunch of friends from Stockton. We go down to Atlantic City, hang out. And then we stop at a diner, get something to eat. By the time I get back to my room, it's like 2 o'clock, 2:30. I go to bed, I wake up at like 3:45, and my stomach's just jacked up. So, initially it's just like, I must have ate something bad at the diner. Forced myself to go to the bathroom. Nothing's going on. It's gradually getting worse. Forced myself to throw up. Doesn't work. Taking Pepto-Bismol, all this stuff. And it got to the point where with so much pain, I recognized that. And this is the great thing about having appendicitis. It's going to tell you that you need to go to the hospital because you've never felt this kind of pain in your life. So it's a wake-up call. I need to go to the hospital. I don't have a car. Now, luckily, the medical center was right on campus, for the most part on campus. So I go, and my buddy Chris, who was in my wedding, I go to his room. I'm ringing the door, no answer. He was out with us that night, no answer. Picking up rocks and throwing them at the window, no answer, right? I'm like, dude, I gotta find somebody with a car.
Did he have the Caprice?
No, he had the Toyota. He had the Toyota. The Caprice. Shout out to Chris and the Caprice. No, he had a little Toyota.
Yes.
I forgot about that car. And I'm like, I gotta find somebody with a car, not thinking that I should have just called an ambulance. I go to my friend. The only other person I knew with a car was my friend Lisa. I throw rocks at her window. She's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "You gotta take me to the hospital." She takes me to the hospital, and I'm like, "You can just drop me off here." She's like, "No, I'll sit with you. Right? This is key." She's like, "I'll sit with you." I'm in that emergency room for like 2 hours before doctor comes and sees me, right? In the meantime, they give me some medicine, to help with the pain, take some tests, x-rays, whatever. Doctor comes back and is like, listen, you have acute appendicitis. We're going to prep you for surgery, and you'll be fine. But we're going into surgery. I'm like surgery. He's like, yeah, and I'm like, I haven't spoken to my parents. They don't know anything. I'm like, nah. I think I'll get a second opinion.
I'll take some.
Lisa
I'll
and
take some
Lisa,
Tums. I'll be all right.
right. I'm not doing the surgery without my parents. Lisa's like, she takes my hand and she looks at me. She's like, Troy, you have to get this surgery. She's like, my aunt died from this. You have to get it. And it was just the way she looked at me, and I was just like, okay, all right. They wheel me into surgery. They were like, count down 10. I counted down. I was like 10, 9. I was out. I wake up. My dad's sitting there in the emergency room. I mean, in my hospital room. And it was, what woke me up was like I started to feel a little bit of pain. And as I'm sitting there talking to my dad and I having a conversation, he is just seeing my face. He was like, he's like, you in a lot of pain? I was like, yeah. He's like, you want something for it? Called the nurse. Nurse came in. He's like, you want something? Yes. I don't know what they gave me. Probably some morphine. Threw it right into my IV. I was out. I was in a hospital for like a day, maybe 2 days. Went back to campus. Walked around for like a week. And I just happened to have my sneakers on as I was passing the gym. And I looked in the gym and I said, I got to get back in there. And I went in there and started playing. And I'm, you know how I play. I'm 100 miles an hour. I'm all over the place, and I'm diving for a loose ball. And like I grabbed my side in pain, and the dudes on the sideline was like, "Dude, you got to get your little ass out of here. Like you should not be in here." I say all that to say, Embiid, he's a professional athlete. I wasn't, right? I wasn't playing competitively and just pick up basketball. Um, I don't think he should be playing. I think he should give it another week.
Okay.
Now, obviously, there's modern medicine technology. Maybe his cut's not as big as mine. I have no idea, but I do know that if his tissue isn't like fully healed and he takes a shot there, it can open some things back up. And now instead of staying out for an additional week, he could be out for he could be out for another 8 weeks. Let's say this was the regular season. If he came back too early, he gets hit, he's out for another 8 weeks because now, his wound has not healed the way it should have.
Yeah.
So I don't think he should play. Is he capable of playing? Yeah, but he's going to be compromised. The right side of his abdomen is tight right now. So I don't think he should play.
Did you before you started feeling the pain? Was there any signs?
There's no signs. There's no signs when it
just
comes
happens.
to it. Just happens. It just happens. It's just a rupture of your appendix. I didn't even know what I had an appendix. I didn't know what it was. But it's at the end of your intestines, and it becomes inflamed, and bacteria gets in there, and that's what causes it. But there's no sign of when it's going to happen to, who it's going to happen to. It's just like a random thing.
Has there been any issues since?
For the I'd call it next 10 years, I would always get like a sharp pain where the incision was. Sharp pain,
Really?
yeah, just it'll last for like maybe 2 seconds and it'll be over. Now I don't get it. I don't feel anything. I have the scar, but it's nothing right now. And that's 30 years ago, over 30 years ago.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I remember you telling me that story, dude.
Yeah.
I could when you told me, I felt the pain.
It was, dude. It's a pain that
Yeah.
you're just not prepared for. You're not prepared. Like again, it comes out of nowhere. So you're like, what the hell is going on with my stomach? Why is it hurting so much? It's never hurt like this before. I need to go to the hospital. Whatever it is, I need the doctors to stop this shit. It has to end.
So you don't think Embiid will play, and you don't think he should play
I don't think he should play.
this series?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Next series, fine. I don't think he should play this
When
series.
when we beat the Celtics, the next
Okay,
series
yeah.
will be.
That's fair.
So what's
That's fair.
your prediction? What's your prediction for the series?
I don't think we'll see Embiid for the rest of the season.
Mhm.
I think the Celtics they should beat us in 5.
What about
They
you?
should beat us in 5. I hope they don't. I hope the Sixers win in 5. But
Realistically, I think there's. Realistically, I think probably they beat us in like 5 or 6, maybe if we get gritty.
Can you turn the Phillies game down?
But seeing all these people, like everyone's saying, like they're gonna. I saw someone today say like, if Jason Tatum and like Jaylen Brown like ran into each other and like during the game, and then like both. Why are you laughing already? If they like ran into each other,
Like a
and they, like,
cartoon.
and they both like injured, were out for the rest of the year, like they were saying like the Celtics would still sweep us, and hearing stuff like that, like
Oh yeah, they've been getting real disrespectful in
it
Boston.
makes me like want to say like Sixers like in like 5, but like no.
I was listening to a Celtics podcast, and they're just so cocky. I mean, they should be. They should be confident in their team to beat us in whatever. But they're pretty cocky right now. So we'll see how the.
And, like it would mean so much to me like to beat this Boston Celtics. Like I hate the Boston Celtics with everything inside me.
Just this my quick prediction. If the Sixers do like I ask and just rule Embiid out for this series, and all the players know,
Like that, do you think
they-
the players like just know the same thing as we know? Like they
all right,
they
take a look
obviously
off
know
your
more
face.
than we do. Like they're not. It's not like they. It's not like they're like,
Yeah.
oh, can't wait to see what John Clark says about Embiid. So I know.
No. It's not had nothing to do with John Clark, and don't disrespect John Clark. My thing is, I think if they just rule him
I don't
out,
think that matters. I really don't.
it might not matter, but it wouldn't hurt.
And I think we're just grasping for straws here.
I think okay, we'll see. I think obviously the Celtics are going to win the series. I think they have a better chance if they just rule Embiid out, so the players know what to
I mean,
expect.
you don't
and
you
not
don't think
like,
it even gives the Sixers a competitive advantage by not ruling him out?
oh, I didn't think of that. That could be a thing. Yeah. Make Celtics have double game plans, waste time doing that. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Well, we'll see how Game 1 plays out Sunday, 1 p.m. Definitely want to recap that one. Let's get into some baseball. I will say, since I've opened my mouth about the Yankees, they've won 2 games. I said that they're one of the best teams in baseball. So they are in
Take
action
us-
against the Royals. The
Take
Phillies
us through
got
every.
spanked.
No. We're not getting off the Yankees.
How's it?
Take us through every Mike
On-
Trout home run. Tell us what were you thinking.
How's it?
He's an Eagles fan.
How does it feel to
Tell us-
actually have 3 MVPs on your team, Colby?
Yeah.
Who are our 3
Yes.
MVPs? Aaron Judge.
Stanton
Who
and Paul Goldschmidt all have MVPs.
Oh,
Maybe
former
and Cody
MVPs.
and Bellinger. Oh my God, 4. Maybe another one.
Yeah,
that
okay,
I'm not thinking
but-
of.
Stanton was like
Yeah.
a lifetime ago. Actually, Stanton and Goldschmidt were about a lifetime ago.
Goldschmidt was like 3 years ago when he went to the. When
He was an
went to the Royals.
MVP 3 years ago.
Yeah, on the Cardinals.
No, we have a producer for that, Zach. Kobe. Zach, you can look that up.
Well, the
Your whole
Trout,
lineup is full of MVPs and Cy Young
Okay.
award winners.
they're really
Mike
not.
Trout.
Mike Trout is another home run in the Bronx, and they're not even playing.
I will say that game where the Yankees, they were going back and forth, Trout and Judge, and they won like 10-9. That was a great baseball game. That was a great baseball game.
Jordan Romano threw the game for them.
Like that's probably one of the best games you'll experience as a baseball fan. Seeing two guys, MVP level players, just go back and forth and acknowledge each other as they're doing it, and the game go down to the wire. That was pretty cool. You don't get to see that a lot. But yeah, didn't like seeing them getting spanked by the lowly Angels at all in Yankee Stadium.
With your 5 MVP players on your team. Must have been rough.
Talk to me in 3 months about the Yankees. We'll see where we are compared to the Phillies.
Can I just say that
about-
Taiwan Walker has the bases loaded and no outs already in the first inning.
Doesn't he? Yeah, he's trash.
So what's going on with the Phillies? Seriously.
They're
No,
not
you guys
pitching and they're
want-
not hitting.
I know you guys want to ignore this, but like we have to talk.
No.
about
It just was. I didn't put Phillies in the rundown. I didn't know we were talking. I'm not
it.
really.
I know
prepared
because
for
you
it.
wanted to ignore it. That's why you didn't put it in the rundown. So. Like you asked me a couple of weeks ago who the first manager or coach is going to get fired in Philadelphia. What's your answer to this?
So first of all, I'm open to having Thompson replaced. My question to you, to all of you guys, because maybe I'm missing something. I know Troy, you had mentioned maybe Mattingly. What? And I know when he coached the Mariners, he was okay, but I mean when he was managing with the Mariners, like he was not sorry, the Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
What was about him? Do you think he
Nothing.
he may bring to the Phillies?
It's less about him and more about just making that change. Same way we
I thought
made
you
the
were going to say
change.
something like Yankee
No.
pride or something. I thought you were going to say something like that. And I was going to
No. The same way we made the change from
stare
Girardi.
myself in the eye.
We made the change from Girardi to Thompson,
Thompson, yeah.
and it totally flipped the team.
Another Yankee coach, manager.
And it totally flipped the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think these guys just need to hear a different voice.
Yeah, I'm open to that. I do. Can we give it to? You can write this down. Can we give it to Memorial Day and see what the team is?
What's the difference? Like, what is
Because
Memorial Day going to do?
What
Like,
it does
if they
is-
turn it around, Chuck, here's the thing. If they turn it around, it's not going to be because of Rob Thompson.
But why?
Because it's not. Like, he hasn't made a difference. He hasn't made a difference. He has not made a difference.
I just
This
don't want
year.
to I don't want to make wholesale changes in April. I guess what I'm saying. That's the biggest thing. I don't want to I want to see if you can tinker with the lineup.
Chuck,
need
by
to write-
Memorial Day, when is Memorial Day? May what? 28th?
It's a little early, like 25th. In that range, yeah, in that range, yeah.
They could, the way they're playing, they could be out of it by then.
Yeah,
You're
they
waiting
make
too
change.
long. To me, that's too long. And it doesn't take all day for any of us to recognize
The
a sunny day or a rainy day. And right now it's
division's still
raining
up.
on the fields.
You might be right, but the division's still up for grabs. The Mets have lost how many in a row? 9 in a row? Did they win recently? The Braves
Yeah.
are okay, but they're not.
That's
like,
the
out
only,
of reach.
you know what? I looked at the standings, and that is the one saving grace
Yeah.
for the Phillies
So
and
that's
for
what I mean.
damn near every other team is that no one's running away with it outside of the Dodgers. I think they're
Yeah,
what, 12-3, something like that.
I'm willing to wait till Memorial Day because Rob Thompson has showed if he shows anything, he
That's
showed
fair.
that the last 2 years he can win a division.
That's fair.
So
That's fair. All
after
right.
that, if you want to get rid of him after that, then I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So that's all I'm saying.
That's fair. I mean, no team is running away with it, so maybe you do have a little bit more time.
No, where was your hands up? What's going on?
I feel like managers in baseball literally don't mean anything at all. I don't know.
Oh, when I say
I don't
that,
think
you
this is
wanna,
on Rob Thompson at all.
I wonder where he gets that from.
I mean,
No.
I
disagree.
agree with him.
I disagree with that and in every other.
Of course you
sport.
do.
But you don't think he made a difference from
Like
I'm not saying the X's and O's. I'm just saying a different voice in the clubhouse. You don't think he made a difference from Girardi?
I don't know.
Because the team.
I was barely
The,
like conscious. So.
okay, so but the
He went
team,
in
the
for
team,
Girardi.
yeah, the
But I
team,
didn't really watch the Phillies. They sucked. They
the
literally.
team but they took a turn when they fired Girardi and Rob Thompson took over. They turned and they went to the playoffs. Like he did a
I
good
guess.
job with that. I don't know if he's able to take this team over the hump.
That's fair. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I would love.
But
I
I
don't
don't.
remember when Rob Thompson took over. Like it wasn't. Was it? It wasn't in April, was it? It might have been. It was kind of
No,
late.
no, it was. I think it was. If I'm not mistaken, it was. I thought it was more towards the summer when he took
Summer.
over.
Like I
It
said, I
could have been.
think
It could have been early. I forgot. It could have been.
so. No, what's the problem? It's not if you say okay, managers don't really make
I'm
a
not. I'm not
difference.
saying like I'm not saying. Okay, maybe I said it didn't mean anything, but like I don't think Rock Thompson's like the number one on the list of issues. Like the team's just not stringing together hits. They get hits, but like there was like a handful game streak of like where they were literally only scoring like in the games in like one inning. Like they would score like 4 runs in an inning in one game and not score the rest of the game. They score like 3 in like an inning, not score the rest of the game. And it's like kind of the same with the pitching. Like the pitching, other than like when Taiwan Walker plays, like there will be like the whole game. It's like great pitching, and then there'll be like one blow up inning where like the other team scores like 5 runs, and then we just don't dig ourselves out the hole.
Yeah.
And like maybe it's Rob Thompson. Like I don't know. Like I don't really know what the manager does except for
Sit there and
Like-
chew gum,
like
chew tobacco.
like choose a pinch hitter or like choose when the wrong time to like put a reliever in or like take someone out. Like I feel like
That's a part of it. That's a huge part of like who he decides who comes in to relieve, and that guy gives up, 3 home runs in an inning to lose a playoff game.
Yeah.
So, do you think? What about a hitting coach? Your hitting coach, like that's
isn't Mattingly our hitting coach right now?
no, it's some other guys. It's like
That would be
Bryce
so awesome
Harper
if it was.
and it's Harper and Trey Turner and Stott's best friend is their hitting coach. Maybe that guy's the problem. Give me his name.
So
Kevin Long.
Kevin Long.
Oh,
Maybe
Long.
Kevin Long's the problem.
You guys
Isn't
Maybe he
former
should be the
Yankee?
hitting coach
a
because he's
laundry
friends.
list of former Yankee managers.
Because he's friends.
Yankee.
He's friends with he's buddies with all the players. I don't need a buddy. I need somebody who's going to get my ass and tell me what I'm doing wrong, do it, or I'm going to have you benched. Even though he can have me benched, but I want to hear it.
He's the bench coach.
Who?
Mattingly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what does that even mean? Like you just said.
I don't know.
I don't know. Baseball's so dumb. I hate baseball.
The only thing that's getting me like even like motivating me about baseball is the fact that not only have the Mets lost 9 in a row, they lost today 12-3. That's the only thing that's keeping me going. So
And like I don't know, the Phillies like they really annoy me. Like I hate watching them, but it is early in the season. I've seen this team like last year, for example. Like they weren't doing that well. They had streaks where they would lose a bunch of games in a row, and then all of a sudden like they knock off like 9 wins out of 10 games. They go 9 or 10, and then they end up with like one of the best records in MLB. So it's so early. I don't think Trey Turner is going to continue to like play this bad. I don't think Harper's been playing well recently, but like the bottom of the lineup guys, and maybe they can be this bad. I don't know. Like Stott, like I like Stott, but like I don't know. He always has like his solid AB, but like when he actually hits the ball, like it just goes like right to the infielder. Like he'll work the count, make the pitcher throw a good amount of pitches, and then like it's like a ground out.
Sounds like the Phillies won't be A-OK. But they got to be because they got a bunch of MVP caliber players on their team. So I'm sure they'll be fine.
hold up. just
They'll be
wanna-
fine. They'll make the playoffs and do their usual thing.
He's a jerk,
They'll
isn't
do
he?
their usual
No,
thing.
here we
Dude,
go.
let me tell you
So-
something. Hold on. Let me tell you something. 2 years ago, the Yankees were playing the Phillies, and my son wanted to go to the game. Oh no, I'm sorry. My daughter bought me
It was
and
your
Kobe
birthday.
tickets to the game. That was for who? Your birthday? That's for your
Father's
birthday? Or it's for Father's Day? Whatever. We go to the Phillies game. And this is the first time where I looked at my son and was like, this guy really is an asshole. He's upstairs. Unless I think we were winning the game early. Am I right, son? We were
It was a
winning
great
early.
game, yeah. Mhm.
And then the Yankees start coming back and they start winning. And he became the most obnoxious. When you think about an obnoxious New York fan, he became that. There was
Not
another
given
New
enough
York fan.
context.
There was another New York fan that was sitting like maybe a few seats down from us. And he started acting up once the Yankees started winning. And Kobe went right along with him. And to the
Where
point
was
where
this?
I was like, huh?
Where
We
was
were
the
in
game?
Philly. We were in Philly. To
It
the
was
point where I
Josh
was like,
Chisholm's-
if they get jumped, I'm not helping them out. I was like, this guy is an asshole. Can't
Listen,
believe I was talking about that to about my son.
I can't
Couldn't
remember
believe it.
the last time a brother like Josh Chisholm came onto the Yankees and played a game like that. Like that was some Gary. Like I haven't seen something like that since Gary Sheffield.
I remember.
And it was
I
so
remember
pissed
that
because
game.
we should have had Jazz Chisholm.
Please relax. He's not.
We should have had
That
him
was his first.
at that
He's
time.
not-
Was that his?
not Eric
That was his
Davis.
first game. Was that his first game with the Yankees?
We should have had him. All right, we can move on. It's fine.
All right, I got just one more thing. I know Drew's not here. I do want to read Bo Bichette's stats to Troy. This is the Mets are
I
going to
don't
wind up paying
care.
because
I
they're over the
don't
cap.
I don't care
but
about
they're
Boba
over
Fett.
the luxury tax. They're going to be paying him $45
I don't care about the
million.
Mets. The second that he signed with the Mets, I no longer cared about him. I don't care.
We had.
I don't care if he's batting 800. I don't care if he's batting 0.8, 0.08.
He's closer to 0.08. than
Okay.
800.
Good for the Mets. I don't care.
I guarantee you his stats better than Alec Bohm's stats.
I bet you they're not. I bet you.
I don't
Look him
I
up.
don't want Bo Bichette hitting like Alec Bohm at with that contract. I do not want that.
Better stats, Noah.
Maybe it's just the Mets. Well, Alec Bohm has a 427 OPS this year, so that's pretty hard to beat. I don't know.
It
It is still
Anyways,
April, right?
maybe it's just like the Mets curse. Like he just like
It is.
who would want to
still-
play for like a sorry like
Listen,
racist
now he just
franchise
reverse
like
jinxed
the
the Mets.
New York
They're going to
Mets.
go on like a 20-game winning streak. Thanks,
Probably.
Noah.
Probably. So here's the last thing. The Phillies play the Yankees in July
Where in
Try to
New
get
York?
in Philly. We can try to get some
Let's
tickets.
go.
July 24th,
Let's
5th,
go.
and 6th.
All right,
I'll look at some tickets. We'll talk about it.
All right.
Let's get that. Let's
And
get
if
it.
we have to, Kobe, we have to beat you up after the game. It's just part of the process, dude. Sorry.
I'll bring my nunchucks in my A-Rod jersey.
You may need them. That's fine. All right, enough.
Super
Anything about the
excited to
Yankees
watch
before we move on?
the. What do I think about the Yankees?
Anything
It's
else about the
April.
Yankees before we move on?
No, nothing about
It's
the Yankees.
April. I live
See,
by
why did you say-
something my mother has
Kobe,
always.
that's my point. Why did you say that when your dad was like killing the Phillies? Why did you say, Dad, relax, it's April? I totally agree with you.
I'm not a Phillies fan. I could listen to you guys go back and forth about the Phillies and your misery all day long.
No.
I enjoy that.
I like the Yankees. That's the problem. You know what? I like Yankees. Derek Jeter is probably one of the top 5 players I love. But you know what? I'm rooting for the
Overrated.
Yankees all year this year. What?
Overrated?
Overrated.
Jeter?
That's okay. No,
I
it
love
was
Jeter. I
not
love
your
Jeter.
fault
He's one of my favorite
during
players.
Jeter's prime. So
It's okay.
I'm not
I
going
wasn't
to give
live
that
for,
any attention.
All right, listen, Zach wants us to move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on, Zach.
What is there to move on about?
Listen, big ups to the Flyers for
Yeah,
making the
that wraps
playoffs.
up
Flyers, listen, the Flyers, they play tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Be there,
They
please.
do. The Penguins,
there.
big rivalry. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Have you seen the Flyers in the playoffs, Noah? Do you watch playoff hockey?
I used to like hockey
No?
when I was
Okay.
a kid. Because my friend Connor used to like hockey, and I used to pay attention to it. But
You should get into playoff hockey this year. It is
I might.
entertainment, especially
It's
with the
mandatory.
Flyers
You have to
being
watch
in
the
it.
Flyers. You have to watch the Flyers. It's mandatory. Mandatory.
Like I didn't like hockey either, but there was one year the Flyers made the playoffs when I was like 13 years old, and from that point on, I was hooked on the Flyers and playoff hockey. So yeah, looking forward to that game against Pittsburgh tomorrow. NBA action tonight too. We got the final playing game in the Eastern Conference and in the Western Conference. Orlando and Charlotte coming up soon. So we'll see who earns that 8 seed. It's time, fellas. Sixers, Celtics, Sunday. We'll be back to recap. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you think. Go Sixers. Let's play that song in Boston. Let's get it.
Nice.
I'm
So
playing.
long, fellas.
Powered by Riverside.
Ace is loaded for the Phils. Let's see who grabs into a double play.